They were breaking down the lyrics to I Wanna Be Your Slave by Måneskin.
I could be the monster.
The biggest question we're not getting the answer today is, how do you pronounce the name of the
I
band?
wanna touch your body.
Please let me know in the comments if you know the right way.
I wanna set you free.
We're analyzing the lyrics to the tiniest detail to find 3 things we could improve in those lyrics and 3 things we could take away and use in our own songwriting.
I wanna be a slave.
And I am Vadusha, and I'm the greatest expert in song lyrics in the entire world, and maybe even on YouTube. Starting off with end rhymes, the simplest thing. Master, coaster, gangsta, monster. Whoa, we start off with a very interesting thing called visual rhyme. These look like they rhyme. If you look at the letters there, it's like seemingly rhyming, but it's not. Master and coaster and gangster and monster, they're somewhat in the same realm of phonetics, but they're not. Not the best rhyming ever. Aesthetic, eccentric, getting better. Electric, pathetic. Again, the stress is on the etic, entric, electric, thetic. So it's getting better. Still more of a visual rhyme than a sonic rhyme. Feed ya, Lisa, loser, amuse ya. Right, feed ya and Lisa, getting worse in terms of phonetical correspondence there. But loser and amuse ya is still not a very strong rhyme, but it's very, very creative. Normally, these go amuse her or something. Loser, amuser. This is a very good way to create a rhyme. Might want to take it away. Teacher, preacher, leave ya, Goliath. Oh, nice. These are not the best rhymes, but these are rhymes. You hear a rhyme at the end of every single line, everywhere, and then boom, suddenly in the very strongest position at the very last line of a very, very long piece, there's a Goliath, which rhymes with nothing. And that's why you establish patterns, because it breaks the expectation. You've been very, very sure it was gonna rhyme, but it didn't. Right, redemption, 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 redemption. Okay. Redemption, 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 redemption. That's a very strong rhyme there. Master, coaster, gangster, monster. Again, repeating the very, very first passage. Nervous, jealous. Again, this looks like a rhyme, but it's not, because the stress is right here. Nerve and jail don't rhyme. Like, at all. So this is again a visual rhyme instead of a sonic rhyme. And we see this all over the song. Telecaster and puppet. For those of you who don't know what a Telecaster is, this is a Telecaster. It's a guitar body shape. Telecaster and puppet. Not sure if this rhymes. This is very, 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 very poor rhyming. They could have done a better job at rhyming for sure. And then redemption, 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 and master. Okay. Summing it up, end rhymes are not the best thing in the song. However, there's a nice device when there's an expectation created and then suddenly broken. When this Goliath rhymes with nothing. And that's a very, very, very cool tool that you could use in your own lyrics. That's the point of making things even and consistent. Because when there's an even and consistent background, you see any inconsistency and your attention is easily drawn to that. Like when your room is messy, you can't find a thing. But when it's clean and nice and tidy, anything out of place is obvious for sure. You see it right away and your attention is drawn to it. You can think of that musically, lyrically, rhythmically, any way you can think of. Let's see if there's any internal rhyming, because end rhymes are not all songs are about. Let's see if there's anything else phonetically. I wanna be a slave, I wanna be a master. This could be subdivided into smaller chunks like this. So slave, heart, boy, beauty. Not a lot of internal rhyme. This could be an improvement given this is a chorus, or is it? I'm not sure. But this is the main piece that goes in all TikToks and stuff. Could have worked on that a little bit to have this rhyme. Let's see if there's any alliteration. Slave, master, heartbeat, coaster, good boy, and gangster. That's very nice. It strengthens the juxtaposition we'll be talking about a little bit later on. Scared, say, eccentric. Not sure if this is deliberate alliteration. I'm the devil. This wants internal rhyming badly, because this is very heavily accented in the song. Devil, lawyer, killer, and the monster. These could rhyme. A little bit of editing effort there wouldn't have hurt. Bad guy, blonde girl, a lot of lines, no rhyming. That is weird. Free, strings, use me. Nothing rhymes there. Nothing more phonetically, not too phonetically expressive. The only one is good boy and gangsta, and that's pretty much it. A lot of room for improvement, a lot of opportunities to make it better. But advancing our analysis to expression devices like metaphors and juxtapositions and things like that. Let's start off with the metaphors. Heartbeat run like roller coaster. Very nice. Roller coasters are chaotic and very intense. So chaotic and intense heartbeat like roller coaster. This is a simile. All of these probably not the literal slave, but a slave in a you know what I mean sense. Same with master. Gangsta, probably not a literal gangster, but more of a bad boy. So that's a paraphrase for a bad boy probably. Beauty and the Monster is a reference, a bit rephrased for Beauty and the Beast. Though Beauty and the Beast have alliteration in them. Beauty, Beast. This doesn't. Despite the play on words there, it's gotten phonetically worse. Love you since this morning, not just for aesthetic. This is a paraphrase that it's not just the looks that the person is in love with. Electric, commonplace metaphor. Scared of me probably is a little bit of an exaggeration. Paint your face like you're my Mona Lisa. Again, a simile. And then I want to paint your face, probably not literally. Clown just to amuse ya, which is again a nice metaphor. Sex toy and teacher. I want to be a sin is a metaphor. Then David and Goliath again is the reference probably to David and Goliath. Everybody's searching for redemption and he is not a lawyer or killer or monster. He is like those. So these are metaphors. Blonde girl there is a nice representation, though probably a bit sexist and ageist. This is a good example of using something specific instead of something generic. It's like it's very different when you hear he smoked a cigarette than that he smoked a Marlboro. The specificity gives a certain flair to it, bringing in some associations. He drove a car is way different from he drove a Volvo. Specificity. Wanna set you free is probably a metaphor. Wanna pull your strings like you're my Telecaster, pull someone's strings. That's a bad thing to do, but a nice way to put that. Like you're my Telecaster. Again, a metaphor. Wanna use me, I could be a puppet. Full of metaphors, a lot of expression. But it's not the only thing that makes this song shine. There's some more things that come from syntax. By that I mean this juxtaposition and this whole lot of parallel structures. The whole song is built on juxtaposition. Slave versus a master. A good boy and a gangsta. Beauty and the monster. And this has no juxtapositions, but it keeps the I wanna thing. So it flows seamlessly into that, changing the tools, but using this I, starting every sentence with I and I wanna specifically. And then I know and I'm crying it. So there's things to cling back to this thing, but some different things to develop the thing. Again, same, but different. And it makes the listener react because we as humans feel a repetition as something safe and something pleasant. And then we experience something new as something unpleasant. But if you lower the degree of novelty, like keeping the repetition and tweaking some little bits and pieces, it still feels the same, but it's a bit different. So it makes us feel safe and happy, but entertained at the same time. And again, make hungry, feed. Champion, loser. This is a situational or occasional antonym, sin, preacher, love me, leave ya, David and Goliath, quiet, nervous. So this juxtaposition of antonyms is the way this song runs. Alright, let's level up a bit and see what the storytelling here is about. There is no literal story there. There's bits and pieces, but there's still some movement, some development as I've said. We have this exposition, we have the opening, but it doesn't change much. So take a look. We understand the character wants to be somebody's love interest, and they have, to say the least, mixed feelings. Since this morning, this paints a picture of the morning and somebody waking up. This must mean they have spent the night in bed. So this does develop the story, gives a little bit more context. Don't repeating the whole thing, but now we know they have been close. So this makes more sense. It's not just a stalker thing, but it's more of a feeling and relations development thing now. Very same, but because of this, somewhat different. This one doesn't add anything new except for these new juxtapositions, and it raises up the stakes. This used to be rather innocent, and it played around with the topic, this tells you right away, I want to be your sex tie. I want to be your sin. So it does increase the intensity of the wishes of the character. And this speaks searching for some redemption. Don't ask me. I have no idea. Again, repeating the idea, not adding anything new. Probably up to here, it makes sense. Maybe even this makes sense, raising up the stakes. But it doesn't resolve. It doesn't add some new information. It doesn't use a different device. It reutilizes the same tools over and over again, recycling the ideas, recycling devices, which gets boring at a certain point. And given the melody is the same, given the arrangement is sort of the same, the song has to play a lot with dynamics. So they have to compensate for the lyrics in the arrangement, which is not what we ideally want to do. We want us to control the lyrics, not the lyrics to control what we do. And the last thing I wanted to say is the ambiguity that I have related to this song. Where is the chorus? Please let me know in the comments which piece of the song is the chorus. I mean, this could easily be the chorus because it repeats twice. There it is again. But it's the same as the rest of this and this. So maybe this is the chorus, but there's this which repeats never. This looks more like a bridge, so I'd say there's no chorus. There's a lot of verses and a bridge-ish thing. Let me know in the comments what the structure of the song is because I have no idea. Right, 3 things I would improve in this. First one, I'd improve the and rhymes. That's a very easy thing to do. Edit it a little bit, and the tip there is when you have written a piece of lyrics, you just let it sit for a while because when you've just written it, you feel attached to it. Changing anything in it means it is imperfect, and thus you, the creator of it, is imperfect as well. And it hurts to edit. So let it sit for like a week or 2. Or a month, and then after this, return to it, you'll feel less attached to it. You're not going to be feeling like the lyrics, and you are one. And with this cold mind, you can go back and make deliberate edits that would improve the lyrics. It's easier to do when you have no emotional attachment to the lyrics. Thing number 2, I'd insert the internal rhymes right here. I would start from this chorus or bridge, like somewhere here, because these are very heavily accented and they beg for rhyming. So I'd improve that. And probably the last one is I'd remove these. These are of no value whatsoever. You normally see these interjection kind of swear words in contexts when the author failed to find an actual word to sit there. This is a matter of tweaking the syllables, finding better wording. And when you see a lot of that, that normally is just lazy writing. I'd take it away and I'd replace it with something meaningful. And of course, I would absolutely work on the structure and the storytelling part of it because there's just a lot of watering down. I'd keep just the most important things, restructure it, remove the excesses, and keep it nice and short. But enough about improvements. Let's get on to the things we can learn from there. And there's so many of them. First one I absolutely love is this line that does not rhyme. A pattern is established and then suddenly broken in a very, very strong point where there's this bridge or chorus incoming. So here is where the attention of the listener is at its peak. Number 2 is of course the juxtapositions. These are very, very, very lovely and they move the song and they keep it glued together. They add cohesion and they add expression. And of course there's a lot of metaphors and stuff, but there's a third takeaway. I'd say this one. This is a very clever rhyme, not the best rhyme ever, but the approach of not just finding a word that rhymes, but combining different words and tweaking them so that the rhyme is even better and more creative. You see, they're the devil who's searching for redemption, and I hope you learned something from this and you can use those things in your own songs because you're awesome. Yes, you are.